Hi there, how's it going? I'm back from work. I've just gotten through doing a brief perusal of the absolutely new, free for everyone basic rules to D&D posted on the internet today. You can find it on the Wizards of the Coast website. They're very proud of it, and they should be. It looks pretty cool. It is a PDF, so it's readable by just about everybody, and it covers the basic rules of the game. It is the basic version of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, let's be clear. It is a basic version of D&D. It only has a certain number of races. It only has a certain number of classes. The half races are not there anymore. Or they may be in the later versions, like the Player's Handbook and the other books yet to come, but they're not here now. The classes are the basic classes: cleric, fighter, rogue, wizard. There's no bard in there, there's no monk, there's no any of the other, when this is bare, stripped down, all the stuff you need to know to make a character and run combat and do magic stuff. And all the basic stuff to running a game. The one thing I did notice that doesn't seem to have, and maybe I'm missing it because I've only skimmed it at this point, is there are no monsters in it. So, you'll need a monster manual if you want to run the game. That said, it's still an excellent step forward. It's definitely something that'd be handy to have if, not everybody can afford to get the book yet, but you want to have everybody understand the basic rules. Well, everybody can at least have access to the basic rules. And then, as they can afford it, they can get like the Player's Handbook and the other books that come out that have more stuff in them. So I'm deeply impressed that they did this. The quality of it is excellent. It's laid out well. Everything's put together well. The text is easy to read. Really, it's really kind of amazing that they did this, and I hope this is a sort of a continuation of a whole policy around being sort of open and helping to make things easier on the people who love D&D. And myself being one of them. I love D&D. It's sometimes easy to forget how much you love the game, because there's so many other games and you've played it so long, it seems sort of old hat, but you love it. You love sitting around the table and you've got your fighter or your thief or whatever, and you're doing your little adventure and you're beating giants and dragons and rolling through dungeons and the whole 9 yards. I mean, it's awesome. Of course you love it. You gotta love it. Otherwise, why the hell are you watching my video? That said, I am really looking forward to getting the actual books, especially the Monster Manual at this point, and seeing what all the books have to add to that. And I'm liking what I've seen so far in my brief skimming. It looks like they've stripped it down to something a little more classically D&D than 4th edition was. Don't get me wrong, I liked 4th edition. Not a hater. Not a hater. There are a lot of people that are haters. I'm not one of them. But it often didn't feel like D&D. It was different enough to be something else to me. And that's partly because I played all the other previous editions. And so, there were certain tropes, certain pieces that were taken out of 4th edition because they want to optimize for certain things. And as a result, sort of lost me a little. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I had a lot of fun playing 4th edition. I think 4th edition is an excellent game. I will still play 4th edition if somebody wants to get together and play 4th edition. But the new edition feels a little more like D&D to me. And I'm really happy to see that. But this is only a brief review because I haven't actually finished reading it yet. I've only skimmed it. But it looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to putting it to work. I'm looking forward to trying to play a game of D&D. I think that will be awesome. The D&D Next, or whatever they're calling it these days. I think it's Next. Did they go with officially Next? Or just, it's D&D now. It's just D&D. And I'm absolutely amazed that they did this. I've said that already, so I'll stop saying it. But the starter stats have started coming out as well. I've seen people posting pictures of getting the starter sets, and the rest of the books are coming out, and I'm looking forward to playing them. I've been reading a lot of Pathfinder lately for various reasons. And I will continue to read a lot of Pathfinder. But I'm also, looking forward to giving this this new edition a try. I know I'm not alone in that. So, there's that. Beyond that, what else do I have to report? Oh, I've been collecting. I started collecting this weird thing. I started picking up Atari Force, and partly it was because I was interested in seeing how comics are shipped on eBay. People are selling and shipping them, because I got some comics I wouldn't mind getting rid of, and I've got some comics I want to, I want to keep, but I want to get rid of some of my comics as well. And I was thinking of, well, okay, I'll go with eBay because I'll get better money off of it than if I take it to a comic shop and bulk unload it. So I was thinking, all right, I can go on eBay and sell, like, here's a run of this, or here's this thing, or here and there. So I thought I'd go on and I'd start ordering a few things just to sort of see how they ship them out. And I saw like 4 issues of Atari Force together. Now, for those of you who don't remember Atari Force, the original Atari Force was like an insert with Atari games that DC Comics did, and it came in a little mini comic. And I've got one coming, so I'll show that off later. But there was a 4-issue run, and it was this sort of team going around different dimensions, looking for ways to save humanity from himself, and these different dimensions would coincidentally vaguely resemble some of the video games that were in but only vaguely because it was Atari, and graphics not really a thing. But that said, it did its run, and there was like a little piece in between there, just a couple of things, and then DC Comics came out with Atari Force as a full-size comic run, and it ran 20 issues. This is the last one. Yay! And I've got the first 5, and several in between. I've got this one. I suddenly decided that, after finding a few of them and reading them, I was like, all right, sure, I'll collect those. Because that's kind of how I collect comics now. I don't get, like, the latest comics as a general rule. I'll read them in the Marvel app, which, by the way, is a good app. You should check it out. I hated it when it started because their navigation was awful. but they've improved it dramatically, and it's right now one of the best deals in comics, if you can read Marvel Comics. You know, some people don't care for it. And, you know, I get Comixology stuff when things are on sale, but beyond that, I get the sort of cheap, nobody collects this anymore comics, like Justice Machine, or, Grimjack, and stuff like that. I raid for $4 boxes and so on to find older comics that, you know, nobody's seen in years and years. And, you know, that was sort of the reasoning behind getting some of the Atari Force stuff. And I started picking it up. And there are a few things I realized about the comic. First off, it's strangely progressive. We often talk about the lack of strong female characters that aren't, like, scantily clad. You know, why is this woman wearing a swimsuit in the middle of a fight with ninjas? And why is she, you know, striking absolutely stupid poses in the middle of a fight? And why does she have, you know, tits bigger than my head? I don't understand why they keep doing this. And of course they all wear high heels for no apparent reason. But you know, there's also been plenty of complaints about different cultures not being, you know, represented, different ethnicities not being represented. Not enough black characters, Asian characters that aren't, oh, look, it's a ninja, therefore it must be an Asian character. You know, things like that. Atari Force was strangely progressive. That there was, you know, Japanese, Indian, African American characters all mixed in there. There were strong female characters, and they weren't scantily clad, and they weren't there to be rescued. You know, it was vaguely sort of, it was strangely progressive for the time. I mean, we still deal with problems with this in comics today. And this was, you know, 1980s. So, you know, it's not perfect stuff, mind you. Some of the storytelling is a little rough around the edges. But it was strangely progressive for the time. And I'm not sure how that happened. I guess because nobody really cared about it. The writers were just like, you know, whatever, I'll write what I want, rather than what the editor thinks will sell. The artwork is actually pretty good in a lot of them. The early issues, let's see if I've got one of the early issues around here. I don't have them handy. The early issues had one artist who was phenomenal, an excellent artist. And then later on, they picked up Mike Barron, among other people, to help out with, and a few other people that were just really good. You know, this is an excellent cover. This is a solid cover. Lots of shadows, good composition. It's a fun cover. The whole series has got great art. The storytelling's fun. The sci-fi setting is very space opera-y, and you know, definitely worth checking out. And I'm a geek, so I picked them up. Yep. I'm a nerd. I admit it. I own it. Okay. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna cut it short now. Or short. It's like 14 minutes already. I'm gonna call it a night. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Listen, let me know which odd comic series are you a fan of? Are you a fan of, like, you know, something that nobody else reads or nobody's ever heard of or anything like that? And tell me what you think of the new D&D. I think it's kind of cool, but I may be alone in that. Tell me what you think of the new books, the new D&D, the free PDF that they've given away, and what they seem to be doing with the new D&D, and, you know, let me know. And subscribe, share, hug random people and tell them it's from me. Whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.